compulsory. So when someone comes here to speak and you do not clap, when someone is coming to speak and you do not clap, it is punishable by kubiringora, people that were there. So I want us to have the revolutionary kind of clapping, which goes by asante sana. Then we all clap at once. Let us not clap because we want. We have to clap because we should clap. You understand? So we are going to clap when someone is coming to speak, we should clap. When someone has finished to speak, we should clap. Actually, we must clap. When someone is coming and when someone is going. You understand? We are going to do an example. Asante sana. It's not enough. Asante sana. Yongeza tena. People there, clapping is compulsory. People from secondary schools, clapping is compulsory today. You understand? It should be compulsory. We are here, we are funded by ISO. So there is no way you are going to keep conducting yourself as a civilian. Please let us clap. We are being given a lot of information. Let us appreciate. You understand? Thank you so much. My name is Simon Ronald, and I stand before you as the Guild President of Bishop Stuart University, but most importantly, as a concerned citizen and a passionate advocate for a corruption-free society and country. We gather here today to discuss a matter that affects all of us, regardless of our background, socioeconomic status, sex, age, religion, and tribe of origin. Corruption is a cancer. Corruption is an ulcer that has infiltrated every aspect of our lives, from classrooms to boardrooms. Boardrooms where we go to work after classrooms. And from the streets to state houses, to houses where we sleep, to hospitals where we go for medication, even to churches. As youths and students, we are the future leaders of our nation, and we all believe that the future is now. We are the current leaders, and we are the coming leaders of this great nation. We are the ones who will shape the destiny of our country, and this is our responsibility to demand for a better future, a future that is free from the shackles of corruption. Corruption is not just a moral issue, it is an economic issue, a social issue, and a political issue. It affects the quality of education we receive, it affects the quality of medication and treatment we receive, and it affects the quality of social services that we receive as citizens of the great country. But as I stand before you today to tell you that there is hope, there is a great hope. And this hope is evidenced by the number of students, the number of young leaders that are here. This is a true manifestation that we are so much ready. Members from the office of the IGG, the students that are here manifest that we are so much ready to eradicate corruption out of this country. We have the power to report corruption, the power to report the signs and symptoms of corruption, and the power to report the effects of corruption. As students, we have the power to still make the difference, the power to demand for transparency and accountability from the leaders we have chosen, from the leaders that we have chosen, and from the leaders that we are going to choose in 2026. So as I ask you, what will you do with this power, the power that is aforementioned up? Will you use this power to demand for a better future, or you will let corruption continue to thrive? Please think about it. I urge you to join the anti-corruption movement. Let us work together to create a society that values integrity, transparency, and accountability. Let us start by making a pledge to ourselves, to our fellow students, to our parents, to our church leaders, and to our nation. Let us join the pledge to demand transparency and accountability from our leaders, pledge to report corruption, and support those who are fighting against it. Promote culture of integrity and honesty in our daily lives. Together we can make a difference. Together we can create a corruption-free society, and let us rise up to take action against this ulcer. Let us be the change agents, the change that we want to see. Thank you so much for listening. Our God reigns. For God and my country, I remain a single nerd. Thank you so much. Who is OC Morar? Asante sana. I'm not doing it for myself, but I'm saying that's how it should be. Whenever someone goes away, we should have an OC Morar. You understand? So who will be our OC Morar? MC? MC, when someone is coming, it is karibu sana. When someone has finished talking, it is asante sana. Thank you so much. And I pray, I beg that you abide. Thank you so much.
Asante sana. All right, thank you. Thank you, Guild President. Should I continue in Swahili or we maintain English? We might lose some of you. Mutapotea. Yes, but thank you very much. And in our midst, we have the Vice Chairperson of the University Council. You are highly welcome. Now that you're here, we feel very secure. That one deserves an asante sana. Yes, we will now hear from our Dean of Students, Reverend Canon Kawachenga.
Thank you. Allow me also to observe the protocol because of time. Good afternoon to you all. As introduced, my name is Asaf Kawachenga. I am the Dean of Students at Bishop Stuart University by the grace of God. I'm not going to talk much, but I will give you one motto which you should remember even when you are not here. And I would also mention I would also mention about the students' greatest desire. Since majority of the people here are students, and I feel more comfortable if I mention that, or I remind you about the desire why you must be in school or at the university. One is to study. Two, to make friends that will help you in the future. That's the major reason why we come to school. We come to school to study and make friends who will support us in the future. You need to know that. Then, that one is enhanced by your relationship with the neighbor or the person. You can even look at the person seated near you. Look at the person who is sitting near you. You don't know where you're going to find that person. That person near you may be your employer in the future. So you need to handle that person very well. Then, let me talk about the model. It is ICI. Now, ICI, then I stands for integrity. That is doing what is right even when no one is watching. And very different speakers have mentioned that. Doing what is right even when no one is watching. That is integrity. And the preacher, those who had not come, Reverend Agre, emphasized on that. And was even saying, when you are in your private room, where nobody is watching you, what do you watch? And if, for example, now, we said, all of you surrender your phones and remove the passwords, how many would wish to surrender them? Now some people are even saying no one. For me, I am willing to surrender mine because it has nothing like things which do not portray integrity. I cannot have, but some people, you open their phones, you will be much more discouraged. Actually, one time I was preaching and I was addressing parents and I said, some of you parents, if you watch what your children watch, some of you will suffer from high blood pressure. Integrity, doing what is right, even when no one is watching. That is number one, I. Then C. I said I'm going to give you I, C, I. Character. The moral and ethical backbone that defines a person. And the people even say, capacity will put you there, but character will keep you there. So as you go through these workshops and trainings and even these conferences and such, you need to think about your character. The capacity can take you up, but your character will keep you there. Then another C is intelligence. The ability to think critically, learn, and apply wisdom in life. So you need the three: integrity, character, and intelligence. I, C, I. Integrity, character, and intelligence. If you want to survive in this world full of very many trials and temptations, you need the three. Of course, there are so many things you need. So I call upon all of you who are here that you work on those things. That even what you do, you need to be critical. And I'm going to end with a verse from the Bible. And that is where I have my favorite phrase. If you can tell me my favorite phrase, I have a gift for you. For you, you are not part. Junior, you are not part. So who can tell me my favorite phrase? My favorite phrase. If you know it, put up your hand, and I have a gift for you. Okay, let me... Anyone? Anyway, since you have failed, who wants to try? Okay, it is from 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 8. Now I have given you what we call guided discovery, because I'm a teacher by profession. 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 8 now. You don't need... Yes, there is a hand. Can you... there is a hand behind. You come, be bold and come and try. You can clap for her as she's coming. You go ahead and clap. Then the president was... You clap in that style of the president encouraged us to use.
Hello, everyone. My name is Chirabo Dorin, Senior 4 from Equatorial College School, and I'm proud of that. So our dear Reverend's phrase from 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 8 says, "Be alert, be on the watch. The enemy, your devil, is walking around like a roaring lion." Thank you.
Now she must take the prize, the handshake. That is the phrase I love most always be sober-minded. And I refused the junior to mention it because I know he's aware. Always be sober-minded. That is what I can summarize. Can you tell your neighbor? Always be sober-minded. Always be sober-minded. Because if you are not sober and alert, you will not even do all these things we are mentioning. You need to be sober and alert. Always be sober-minded. Now, who knows the phrase? Hey. Who knows the phrase now? Can Anyway, allow me to stop here and wish you the best. But on behalf of BSU, I would like to thank the students who have come. Our students from BSU, can you wave to us? Yeah, you can clap for them. Thank you very much for coming. And we pray that you'll maintain the integrity. Always be sober-minded. I wish you well. May the Lord be with you. Our God reigns.
Thank you so much, Reverend Canon Asaf Kawachenga, our Dean of Students. We are done with saying asante sana, guys. You did follow instructions. Maybe if you want to say karibu sana for the patron as she comes. Karibu sana. Yes. Any moment from now, we'll be joined by our Vice Chancellor that will lead us to the next item on our program. We call upon the cultural dancers to come and give us an entertainment interlude. But in between, we are going to have the launch of the magazine, the Power of Integrity magazine, and the launch will be done here. The first edition of the same will equally be ready, as is going to be explained. The cultural dancers, please get ready to come. As our patron said earlier, our beloved Minister of Finance always said, money will come. So, lunch will come. And it is already prepared. So please bear with us. We are trying to progress well. The cultural dancers.
ma wajulu kereni dol ma be mero tiki nyawa kin me mama wajikere putu mero tiki nyawa kin ma be ma wajikere putu mero tiki kin me mama e kwanyo kere nyawa alam je mere me kuma ya kin ma be ma e kwanyo kere nyawa alam je mere me kuma ya mere me kuma ya mere me kuma Irene Susanna Irene adong nyawa dodo pachuli 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 kuma nyawa kwiri mira nyuma nyawa lawara mira kerali nyawa ngetu kero mira talgum nyawa ngeleo de jonne be mon bi mon bi mon bi mon bi mon bi mon ero bi mon ero kuya wani kuya ye kuya wani nere no dong pajuni ero nere no la tuni nere no dong pajuni ero nere no la tuni nere dawa mi rut kulo ero nere nyalo lu wankara nere dawa mi rut kulo ero nere nyalo lu wankara nyapa adong meri nere dawa me awora nyapa adong meri nere dawa me awora nyapa okichas nere milu karakulo nyapa okichas nere milu karakulo nyawa nere dawa ditero nyawa de maputido nyawa nere dawa ditero nyawa de maputido Irene Susanna Irene adong nyawa dodo pachuli kuma 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 nyawa kwiri mira nyuma nyawa lawara mira kerali nyawa ngetu kero mira talgum nyawa ngeleo de jonne be monde
Yes. Thank you very much. You know, when they were doing Chitakur, I told you that my knees were hurting. But this one I think I can handle. This one is simpler. DJ, Kadodi. Kadodi. as we set up the table. Mr. Miyambi, come and join me. The president is going to showcase his skills. He left. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We give up, we give up. Thank you. Mr. Muyambi forgot his shoulders at home. So the ones he has are only for being president and not enough to shake. But thank you very much. We were very entertained by our sisters. What is the name of the dance? La Caraca. Yes, thank you so much for that bit of the entertainment. Whatever is being showcased here, I request that we transfer our table here for now, such that we do not cover our guests. Then when it is cold, we can put it back. Kindly, let's move the table. Yes, we had parallel events, and there was an ongoing National Council for Higher Education exhibition for Western Region, and our beloved Vice Chancellor is a member of the council. However, we confirm that he's already within the university and will be joining us. At this moment, we want to call upon the patron. Okay. So we've been guided that the patron will talk just immediately after the second presentation of the cultural group. However, at this point in time, we'll take a musical interlude. Please feel free to talk to your neighbor and remind them of ICI. Yes, we'll have a musical interlude of about 5 minutes. Thank you. In case you don't remember what ICI stands for, integrity, character, and intelligence. So please feel free to talk to your neighbor as we have a small musical interlude. Thank you. The cultural dancers, please prepare to come in. The cultural dancers.
Owanjer tarambar shuka nabwe nishoroze kafujo kajire mkundi nyowar taraguza bakanyeta ndio mu Rwanda bana batatu owanjer tarambar shuka nabwe nishoroze kafujo kajire mkundi nyowar taraguza bakanyeta ndio mu Rwanda bana batatu dikatsinge munyankore owanjer tarambar shuka nabwe nishoroze kafujo kajire mkundi nyowar taraguza bakanyeta ndio mu Rwanda bana batatu owanjer tarambar shuka nabwe nishoroze kafujo kajire mkundi nyowar taraguza bakanyeta ndio mu Rwanda bana batatu dikatsinge munyankore owanjer tarambar shuka nabwe nishoroze kafujo kajire mkundi nyowar taraguza bakanyeta ndio mu Rwanda owanjer tarambar shuka nabwe nishoroze kafujo kajire mkundi nyowar taraguza bakanyeta ndio mu Rwanda bana batatu dikatsinge munyankore umurandiniwe yebare ainonwa yego umurandiniwe ainonwa yego yebare ainonwa amaraka ganyu yego ayen munterera ngo mazane yaye ayen muchikwateo azamurembe ine yego azamuteripina azamurbatenkente yego Eo munyankore akakigamba ngwe kanungi nezara abana barungi icyo mbakundira ereba mwakora eweza mwakora umurimo abahagazi bitu imwe mwimuke ehore ko munyankore mukuyabe irazana urubingo abana bakazi barabasahunga umuranga umwe bare bojo umwe bare mwe bantumwe Ochimbia, 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 Ochimbia,
Thank you very much. Our guests, these are equally our students that are giving us the entertainment, and we are very grateful. We welcome you, our Vice Chancellor, Professor John Mugisha. And allow me at this juncture to introduce to you our guests that we have for today. We have Mr. Bamwine Morozi, the representative of the head of the State House Anti-Corruption Unit. You're very welcome, sir. And we also have Mr. Eli Tugeine, the Diso Mbara City representing the acting director of Internal Security Organization. You're very welcome. In our presence, VC, we also have our Vice Chairperson of Council, Mrs. Ayebaziwe Keren. You're very welcome. And we also have the Principal Inspectorate Officer, Mrs. Nakajoba Mary Mebo Sebagala. You're highly welcome from the Inspectorate of Government Office. Allow me at this point in time to equally inform our VC that our event has been graced by different schools that were invited, including St. Mary's Girls Vocational School, Shuku Vocational Secondary School, Equatorial College School, Revival Girls High School, Lachi High School, and Chinoni High School. We also have some higher institutions of learning, including our very own Bishop Stuart University. Our students are here. We have Mbara University of Science and Technology. We have University of St. Joseph's, Mbara. We have Ankole Western University. We have Nyamitanga Technical Institute and Uganda Technical College, Bushenyi, together with Kakoba College. At this point in time, I will call upon our patron for the Integrity Ambassadors Club to come and give her speech, which soon thereafter will correspond with the launch of the magazine, which she will preside over, coupled with inviting our Vice Chancellor to speak. The patron, thank you so much. Karibu sana.
Shall we all arise and welcome the Chancellor? The one who is walking in is representing the University Chancellor. Yesu oli mwana gwendiga omusai kunazi ziza twebaza Yesu mulokozi. Thank you so much, our dear Chancellor. You're welcome to your institution. Allow me request our patrons, those that came with our students, please give them a reminder to come and listen into their session. I know they are exhausted, but lunch is ready, and we assure you each one of us will have lunch. Please invite them to come in. The prefectorial bodies in different schools, please remind your dear friends to come and listen in. Praise the Lord. Our chief guest, Kano Ime Katabazi, represented by Mr. Eli Tugaine, and who is our DISO. The guests present, all protocol observed without forgetting our Chancellor and the Vice Chancellor. Praise the Lord. Friends, we want to welcome you to Bishop Stuart University, to the inter-institutional summit that we planned, we organized, and this day is nearly over. Thank you so much. Friends, what is integrity? For me, integrity is the truth you tell yourself. Integrity is the truth you tell yourself. Many other times we say we are speaking the truth because there's a congregation before us, there are friends we want to impress, but when we are back in our dockets, in our closets, where only God and the devil are watching, what truth do we tell ourselves? That is what I stand on, and allow me address you today and appreciate each one of us for coming and making history in the life of Bishop Stuart University. Today we stand at a defining moment in the history where the choices we make will determine the future of our nation. Integrity is not just a virtue, it is a foundation of trust, leadership, and national progress. A nation built on values thrives because its people act with honesty, fairness, and responsibility. To inspire change, we must first transform our mindset. Integrity should not be seen as a burden, but as a strength, an asset that defines who we are, what we stand for. The future is in your hands, dear friends, the young team. Lead with integrity, and you will shape a nation of values and prosperity and trust for God and my country. As a patron, allow me convey my heartfelt gratitude to all the institutions that were invited on short notice, and you indeed made it. May God bless you. Please take our love to all the institution heads, and we treasure each one of you. Allow me also thank our Vice Chancellor, Professor John Mujisha, for having given us the first batch of money, 3.5 million shillings. VC, we have utilized that money. On Monday, I am submitting accountability. I want to also appreciate Brigadier General Henry Isoke and the representative to Brigadier General, Mr. Bamwine Mworozi. Please take our appreciation. Brigadier gave us 1 million shillings. And then Madame Mary from the IG's office, she has given us 100,000 shillings as a person. We thank you heartily. And one who shocked us, who made us break down in tears, Kano Ime Katabazi, represented by the Diso Eli Tugaini. Kano gave us 32 million Uganda shillings. Friends, all that money has been utilized. I have it offhead. I can tell you how much money your meals have costed, how much the tents and chairs have costed. I am ready to give you accountability as the patron. We are not swindling any drop, any shilling. That is what we stand for. That is what we want the country to stand for. And you are this nation. Please stand out and be counted as people of integrity and transparency. Now, friends, allow me do my second part of requesting. Where is the president? Junior and your committee. Junior mwana wakatene takutera kaniwe president. The committee, Dennis, and your team, please move forward. Integrity Club came up with a magazine, The Power of Integrity. And this day we request that this magazine be launched. We were trying to do more editings. The cover had a scary image. We are working on that to be more attractive, but all articles are in and are ready. And we request a chief guest and the representative of Brigadier General Henry Isoke, the Chancellor, the Vice Chancellor, a Chair Council, the Vice Chair Council, the team from IGG, that you move forward in all humility and launch for us this magazine. I request the Chancellor, the Vice Chair Council, the VC and Chief Guest that we shall unveil, and like Honorable Kasija says, the markers will come and we will write on after. Please, the unveiling. I need music. DJ Mwana, not that one. Serious music.
Thank you. I take the opportunity to launch the Power Integrity magazine at BSU, and I wish and pray that it spreads throughout the country as we launch it here today at BSU on this 28th day of March 2025. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We shall take our seats and we will allow me in all humility invite our Vice Chancellor to address us. God bless you.
Thank you very much, the patron of the Integrity Club here at Bishop Stuart University, the Reverend Dr. Judith Arinetwe, our guest of honor, our Chancellor, Chairperson Council, our special guests from the President's Office, Anti-Corruption Unit, and the Inspector General of Government's Office, my colleagues, members of staff from Bishop Stuart University. I see the Dean of Students, the Reverend Canon Asaf Kabachenga. I see the chaplain, Reverend Justina Bashemeire Ainebiona, and the Deputy Chaplain, Reverend Agre Aijuka, and Reverend Wilson Mujisha. There are other members of staff here. Our invited guests, teachers, students from schools, from different places, you are welcome to Bishop Stuart University, and praise be to God. I am Professor John Francis Mujisha, and I'm the Vice Chancellor of Bishop Stuart University. So I'm happy to welcome you to Bishop Stuart University. You arrived before me, and I have to explain, I have to account, because this is Integrity Day. There is a National Council for Higher Education event going on in Mbarara. It started on Monday with a conference. And today, the Deputy Speaker of Parliament was launching exhibitions. Different universities, over 50 universities and secondary schools and other institutions are exhibiting in Kamukuzi. And I am a member of the National Council for Higher Education. Today, only two of us were present. And since I'm the one who actually pulled this event to come to Mbarara, I had to be there. So I request you to bear with me for not being here when this function started. I would like to thank the student leaders and their patron, all our staff who support the Integrity Club or Association, because integrity is what we stand for as BSU. I already declared that I am a member of the Integrity Club. And I also pledged that we shall do everything to support this club in all their activities here, but also in their activities outside of here. Bishop Stuart University was founded by Ankoria Diocese in 2002. And the purpose was to form students, to guide students to become leaders and citizens who follow in the steps of Jesus Christ, who know the way, who go the way, and who lead the way, and this is the way of integrity. The way of Jesus Christ is actually the way of integrity. It's what we exist for. So integrity is within our foundational philosophy. But it's also part of our operations as a university. Throughout our curricula, by means of our culture, in all that we do, our aim is to produce graduates who are responsible, who are ethical, who are employable, who are entrepreneurial, certainly who are God-fearing. And when you look at those key graduate outcomes, there is integrity. Without integrity, you cannot be responsible. You will simply have a degree. But a degree without responsibility will not add value to our society. It will not add value to our economy, to our security, to our growth. Responsibility. But we also emphasize ethics. Integrity is the foundational principle for ethics. But of course, employability and entrepreneurship. You cannot be employable when you are not ethical, when you do not have integrity. Guest of honor, chancellor, chairperson of council, and all colleagues, I recall a story, an experience actually. It's going to be a story now that I'm going to tell it, but it's an experience. I was a senior hospital administrator in Gulu for Gulu Regional Referral Hospital way back in 2000, the year 2000. And we had only one surgeon, doctors. We are holistically impacting our students, transforming them to become better. Transforming them in terms of what they aspire to be, in terms of their aspiration, transforming them in terms of their values, transforming them in terms of their attitude, transforming them in terms of their mindset, to believe in themselves. And to know that there is no limit to what you can become. And of course, transforming them in terms of character. Character. Even if they lift you high up and place you in a position without the required character, you will not keep there. You will fall down. This is part of what we do here. Needless to say, we help our students to prepare adequately for life here, but also for life hereafter, Mr. Guest of Honor. It is the additional step that we take, preparing our learners to be able to sail through the life here very smoothly, but also to prepare for life hereafter. Because the two are actually interconnected. You don't want to work with a person who doesn't know God and who is not interested in matters of heaven. You don't want to work with them. Such people are not likely to have integrity. So, You, my young learners from secondary schools, listen to me. Because I have taught in many universities. In Uganda, I have taught in more than 3 universities. And in other universities of Africa, I still teach there, by the way. Because now we teach online. And I have taught in Europe. Many universities just give you the knowledge and you go. They give you the knowledge and the skills and you go. Here we are interested, of course, in you getting the knowledge and the skills, but acquiring other skills to help you manage in this complex world. We know that what you aspire to be and helping you to shape your aspiration will go a long way in enabling you to reach very far. People with very low aspirations will end up low, at a low level, even if they are extremely brilliant. People with high aspirations will reach very far, even if, in fact, they are not very brilliant. We know that. And so we help you to work out, aspire for things. We inspire you to aspire for greatness. We also know something about attitude. If you believe in a world of possibilities, the world will open up its doors for you. If you believe that this world is a torture chamber, there are challenges all over. There is scarcity. You won't be able to make it because you do not believe that the world has something to offer. Here we tell you God has something to offer to you in this world. We change the paradigm. There is what we call paradigm shift. And we help you to create a new paradigm. A paradigm of paradise. Okay? That in this world, it's like the Garden of Eden. Everything is possible. But I'm going to tell you that you need a strategy. Success is never automatic. All these things are there. You people will study. You will reach very far. If you want to be IGG, to work with IGG, you will. If you want to be a reverend canon like the one representing the bishop, you will. If you want to be a professor like me, you will. Even your academic performance now is not a limiting factor. Just keep going. You are on the journey, keep going. But know that in everything that you do, you are creating a job for yourself in the future. The future is not a disconnected end state that exists in the time to come. No. You are already in your future. You have lived part of your future. That's a little difficult for those in lower levels. There is a past component of the future, a present component of the future, and a future component of the future. Okay? I have seen somebody being posted to an institution that this is your new head teacher or your new vice chancellor, and then people start saying, what have they done to this institution? This man or woman will kill it. Why didn't they do some due diligence? I have also heard about others being posted and people say, this time they have acted very smartly. The school will grow because of this woman or this man. You are making your future. In everything that you do, just know you are creating a job for yourself. And therefore mind what you are doing. Integrity is of no use, by the way, if you do not live to see your future. So consider staying alive. To stay alive is not just an act of God. Yes, it is. But God has requirements. There are things that God wants us to do. If you drink poison, He will not interfere with that free will. So don't say, I will just live the way I want, and God is there to take care. No, God has given us responsibility. So stay alive. And to stay alive, you have to be intentional. Living is not automatic. You have to be intentional. It actually means that you have to identify things that can shorten your life and to avoid them. And as a young girl in your dormitory, just list down things. When I was in Makerere University, by the way, I listed down some things. One of them was a bit annoying to my friends because I said girls. There was a list in my room, and one of the things was girls. So whenever a girl came to my room, they would feel uncomfortable. That, why did you write this? I said, no, this does not refer to you because you don't have bad intentions. It is referring to those with bad what? Bad intentions. So don't worry. So identify the obstacles and list them down. And be intentional. Say, I want to avoid these. Living is not automatic. I have been working on an extended essay called The Struggle to Live. When I'm through with it, I will publish it. The Struggle to Live. To live, it's a struggle, and you have to be intentional. So is to succeed. You have to avoid certain things, and you have to do certain things. I decided when I was a young student, like those of you in secondary school, that anyone who lives near me will want to work with me. Did you hear that? I decided that anyone who lives near me or stays with me will want to work with me. I decided on that. And because of that, my character was shaped differently. At some point, I also said that anyone who gives me a chance to express myself, who listens to me, will give me a job. And I have been getting most of my jobs because of speaking. It is very important. You shape your character, and then you develop several other skills. Good character will be known. Don't say, I am in a small community of 3 people. Does it matter if they know me to be a good person or not? Yes, it does. Because in a short time, one of them will go to Kampala, another one will join the president's office, somebody will be in ISO, and they will say, but there is somebody called Ezra. I wish he were here. He was a member of our team. Don't mind about the number of people around you. Maintain the discipline even when nobody is even watching. That's what the patron has just told us. Now, because we have students here, guest of honor, Mr. Chancellor, sir, allow me to tell them the 21st century skills which we tell to our students. So that as they prepare to join us, they know what they are going to find here. 21st century skills which are actually linked to integrity or with integrity. And we summarize them as 4 C's, and 3 T's. And so, young learners who have where to write, you can write them. 4 C's and 3 T's. The first C is communication skills. Communication skills. I have told you that as a younger student, I purposed that wherever I speak, somebody would want to have me speak again. Now, communication is different from eloquence. Eloquence is a talent, communication is a skill. It means that as a skill, everyone can learn it. To communicate clearly, both in writing, but also in speaking. So that when you make a point, you don't have to be eloquent. I am not eloquent. But I have been teaching, and people understand the points that I make. Communication skills. Number 2 is critical thinking skills. Critical thinking skills refer to skills of appraising or making reflection on what is presented to you. If I came to you and I said, you are very beautiful, don't say, oh, thank you very much. No, you know yourself. But secondly, why are you interested in my beauty? That's another question. I am beautiful, so what? I am handsome, so what? Why are you interested? Do you have an interest? Because the moment I say this phone, Samsung phone is nice, it means I have an interest in the Samsung phone. So if I am handsome, why are you telling me? What interest do you have? Somebody without critical thinking skills will say, oh, thank you very much. You have said I am handsome. No. My dear ladies and, and boys, gents, please say, what is your interest? I am beautiful because I am made wonderfully in the image of God. God is happy with me because he designed me in a unique way. So what is your interest? I already know it, so it is not the news. Critical thinking skills. The other one is creativity skills. Always seek to add value to yourself, to your team, to your job, to your family, to what you do, both at school and at home. What value have you added? Always ask yourself that question. It's not only a question for the leaders. It's a question for the students. It's a question for everybody. Bishop Johnson Tuinomjun, the Bishop of Western Kwale Diocese, usually poses this question, asks people to pose this question. What would people miss? What would they lose if I left the team or if I were not born, What would my family miss? What would my class members miss if I left school and went away? Ask yourself that question. The last C is collaboration. Collaboration skills. Ability to network with others. Take advantage of the team that you have. Be friendly. Of course, add value to the team as you gain value from the team. Your network is your net worth. It's what we say. Your network is your net worth. There is nobody who is interested in having a friend who is only taking away. I want you to note that. Your friends also want to gain something from you, which will help to build their lives and their future. So what are you offering to the team? What are you taking away from the team? And the 3 T's, one is time. Time as in urgency. Never wait to do tomorrow what you can do today. I know there are several students who say, I will be revising towards the time of exams. The time comes and you may fall sick. Power will go off. There is no power at home or there is no paraffin. What will you do? Whatever you want to do today, just do it today. Do not postpone. They call it procrastination. Now, this could be a hard one for the young students. To procrastinate is to wait. To push forward what you would have done today to another day or another week. You can write that procrastination is the sponsor of failure. Procrastination is the sponsor of what? Of failure. Many of the people who have failed, they have good ideas, but they keep saying, I will grow coffee. I'm told Hass avocado is very good. I will grow plant Hass avocado. And they don't do it. The next thing they see, their friends are harvesting coffee. And they have nothing. So time, the other one is technology. I will not spend a lot of time on technology. The internet is the second brain now. There is even artificial intelligence. So many questions can be answered using technology. And the third one is trust. Trust. If it can be said about you that you are trustworthy, I want to tell you, everybody will come looking for you. All these people you are seeing are looking for trustworthy persons. But they are very few. Not many people can be trusted. So just be trustworthy. I have realized that people who tell lies want to employ people who speak the truth. I have also realized that people who are not hardworking, who are lazy, want to employ people who are hardworking. Okay? Therefore, just work hard, uphold integrity. Now, finally, there is a story. It's a short one and can be a bit confusing. A couple, a man and a woman, went to a restaurant in a small town. And they were selling chips and chicken, and they were packing in small parcels, you know. They were making packs of chips and chicken, so they said make chips and chicken for two. But they packed separately. They packed for one and for the other, and they went to a hotel where they had booked accommodation. They washed their hands. They said, let us eat. They opened one. They ate. When they opened the second one, it was full of money. The woman said, we are lucky. The man said, no, not me. We are not lucky. This is not our what? It's not our money. They counted 5 million Uganda shillings. They said, no, we can't take this money. In the restaurant, they had packed money, and somehow that envelope of money had been mixed up with the food, and they had served it to the customers without knowing. So they decided that the following day they should take it back. When they reached there, they found chaos. The manager of the restaurant had been arrested. You see, there had been allegations that he is taking all the money for his private purposes. So they were coming to audit him. All the receipts were saying he has already collected 5 million. He was insisting that, yes, 5 million is here. We put it in some envelope. It was nowhere to be seen. So they had called the police to take him away. Now this couple surfaced and said, please leave the man. The money is right here. Was this integrity? Guest of honor, IGG, and corruption unit. These are technical questions. I know what the chancellor would say, but I want to put this to you. Do we have anything like partial integrity? At Bishop Stuart University, we talk about character development, holistic character formation and development, where you have integrity that is all round. And so as I close, allow me to quote our Dean of Students, Reverend Canon Asaph Kawachenga. He always says, education informs, but Jesus Christ transforms. I thank you.
yesakanchirire mbabazi nyinje zitakarewaga obuyafera gorogosa eshagamaye kashesheka embabazi zawe yesu tizitira mugarukiro rizo ziza size bibi awe shagama yawe yonka.
Thank you so much. Asante sana. All right, thank you so much. Initially, the patron said the markers were coming. So the markers have arrived. So we are going to humbly request our guests to come and do the signing ceremony for the magazine. And then we will request the Vice Chancellor to help us and invite our Chair of Council to speak to us after.
Na wananchi wenyewe tukampiga adui na kumuondoa.
Kweli kweli kweli
Ikazi tu,
kweli kweli kweli
ikazi tu,
sio
siyo mafedha
yale
yaleta uchumi kwa Uganda.
kweli kweli kweli
Ikazi tu,
kweli kweli kweli.
Thank you very much. Thank you, moderator. I want to take this singular honor to invite our Vice Chair of Council, who is standing in for the Chair of Council, but actually who is also a District Inspector of Schools and a chairperson of the inspectors of schools in the country. I am very happy to welcome her when we have many students. She's a mother, she's an educator, she is a policymaker for universities, but she's an inspector of schools. She knows what may stand on the way of the students from reaching where they should reach. Madam Vice Chair of Council, it's my pleasure to invite you to speak to this congregation. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm happy to be here. I'm by names of Kellen Ayebaziwe Kabeho. As he said, I'm the Vice Chair, Council, Bishop Stuart University. I'm also the chairperson for all inspectors in Uganda. Our guest of honor, the Chancellor of Bishop Stuart University, we have very many people invited. We have the the university staff who are here. We do have the guild president of the Bishop Stuart University. I've seen a difference in other universities having two presidents. We have the president of the club. You are most welcome. We have other invited guests. I may not mention their positions, but I am happy that you are here. Among them, I even have my son. Can you wave to everybody here? That is my son here. And we also have our big people and our big man here, Major. Can you wave to us? Is it the title? I fear to mention those titles that I don't know well. He's a captain. You are most welcome. I'm not going to take long because I'm standing in for the chair. I was just informed that he's somewhere else that I should come in, and being here at the district, so I had to run to see our students here. You know, Bishop Stuart University, I enjoy being here because we know the way, we show the way, yes? And we know the way. And other universities follow. Although we have so many universities here, but that's what I know that Bishop Stuart University stands for. I'm glad that I'm here for Integrity Club, and that is not a simple thing. And the theme, I've seen the theme used for integrity, building the nation of values, positive mindset change, and accountability. I'm happy, Reverend, you have said whatever money was given to you, you have already accounted for it. Can you give you a Sandler's Club? A Sandler's Club. Thank you so much for that accountability already given. And we thank God that you are here, and you know the students are learning from you. You know, when you are a young girl or a young boy, you are writing a book for yourself. Whatever step you are taking, you are writing a book. The child you started with in P1, if you reflect back, you know what you were in that class, up to where you are now. So you know you are writing a book, someone is reading you. Even if you don't write the book, but people have a book for you. If you tell people you write a book for me, they can easily write it. If they know you, they studied with you, they slept in the same room with you, they studied in class together, so they know there is a book for you. Which book are you writing for yourself? Can all of us close our eyes for just 1 minute and you look, reflect back? Which book are you writing for yourself? Just close your eyes. Some are seeing me, even the Vice Chancellor. Can you close your eyes and look back and reflect? Which book are you writing? Is it a book of integrity? Or there is something wrong? I'm happy that the reverends are here. They can help you. Where you have reached, you can stop there. If the book is not for integrity, can you stop there? And start now. Because that's why the workshop is here. That's why we are here. We want to see a changed person from today. So that when you are writing a book, you will see value in you. You are adding value to yourself. You are adding value to the country. What is the country looking for? Why is the country crying? A lot of corruption. People who, I cannot explain everything, but people are crying. Officers are crying. Today, I was seeing a national platform. We have where we see all the inspectors in the country. And also, we have a platform for all education managers in the country, where we have our ministers, the permanent secretary, and everybody. Today, they posted an officer. It was not necessarily a lecturer or a teacher. I don't know whether he was an accountant or, I don't know. But they posted the person there. The person was so drunk that he could not know the way out of the office. Because they came in and said, can you get out of the office? But the person was moving behind. They followed him and told him that we are making a video about you. But he could not trace the way back. Are you building yourself in that position? Are you going to be that person in the future? Are you the person who is fighting for food in the canteen or at the serving table? Are you the children who dodge classes? I no longer take mathematics. Attending that class. Are you that person who comes late at work? Are you that person who doesn't do assignments in time? Are you that person ogorukutoroka akaraba omsengenge and runs away from class? Are you the person who steals other people's properties? Who is that person? In you. Because we are just seeing the shape, but we don't know the person inside you. So we are here to make things work. Let us make sure that we do things right so that in the future we have a good book about ourselves. I don't want to take your time, but I want to note this, that the students who are here today are going to be changed people, are going to be people of integrity. You are going to go back and people will look at you and say, yes, this student is in integrity club. Don't go back as you came here. You should go when you are a changed person. I want to thank you, and I want to bring greetings from our chair council. Professor Kagame is not here with us, but is here with us in spirit. I thank you, and God bless you.
Asante sana. All right, thank you so much. At this point in time, we are going to have Mr. Bamwine Morozi for his keynote address on behalf of the State House Anti-Corruption Unit, representing the head of the unit, Brigadier General Isoke. Yes, you're welcome.
Wenyewe tukampiga adui na kumuondoa Uganda. Kazi ngumu tunayofanya na wananchi wenyewe tukampiga adui na kumuondoa Uganda.
Tulimupiga Kabamba, tulimupiga Chivoga, tukampiga Rwamata na kumuondoa kabisa.
Kazi ngumu tunayofanya na wananchi wenyewe tukampiga.
Thank you very much. Our guest of honor, the Vice Chair, the Chancellor, protocol observed, the Vice Chair of the Council,
the Vice Chancellor, colleagues from other anti-corruption fighting agencies, the students' bodies that you are here, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I'm called Bamwine Morozi. I am here to represent Brigadier General Henry Isoke, who heads the anti-corruption unit of State House. And he has sent you greetings and apologies. But by extension, I also bring you greetings from His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda. Because it would be unusual for a person to come from our principal, the chief executive of the country, and then I don't bring you greetings. Our guest of honor, I will a bit change the narrative with your permission, because a lot has been said about integrity. And for sure, without any question, if they brought now an exam about integrity, I'm sure all of you would pass with more than 80%. So, I don't want now to go into too much of the definition of integrity, because all these ladies and gentlemen from morning have been talking about integrity, and they have ably explained the concept or the understanding of integrity. Now that you have understood what integrity entails and what actually it means, how are you going to use this knowledge you have acquired from here to navigate through life? That should be the question now. Mr. Vice Chancellor, I want to appreciate you for very wonderful words. You have said living is not a guarantee. It's not mandatory. It depends on how you strategize. And I think that was a very important message. Now, for us at Anti-Corruption Unit, for us we are action people. Now for us we take another step of fighting those who don't have integrity. Are we together? The Anti-Corruption Unit of State House was established by the President, citing, I understand there is a lawyer here. If you check Article 99 of the Constitution, that's where he derived the powers to establish the Anti-Corruption Unit of State House. With the mandate, one, to receive complaints that are corruption related from actually not only in Uganda or from our citizens, but even in the whole world. They complain about corruption practices. We receive them, process them, and then we investigate them so that that vice of corruption, which has thrived largely because of lack of integrity, which has been our theme today, is either minimized or even eliminated from our country. 3, we coordinate with other MDs, they are called MDs, are ministries, agencies, and departments of government, to ensure that there is efficiency in government, there is service delivery in our country, so that now us, as maybe President's office or State House, because we have a mandate, we signed the covenant through the manifesto with Ugandans, and Ugandans are yearning for services. And what makes services negative or not there at all in hospitals, in schools, very bad roads, is because of lack of integrity of our public servants. Now for us, the message from Anti-Corruption Unit of State House is that for us, give us information about those who are denying you the services, and we shall deal with them and deal with them decisively. Can't you clap for that? I understand the hands of the Wanyankoris are always very minimal. If it was the other people from Buganda, there would be even Nakaruru. Okay? So, having said that, we are very happy to have come here. I want to appreciate Junior and your team. These people have come to Kampala, and we have interacted, I think, twice. And my boss, the brigadier, gave a commitment that he would come, but nevertheless, he's here through the representation. For sure, many things have been said here. The message from government, for that matter, I'm not a spokesperson of government, but I work with the presidency. And in my terms of employment, it is marufuku. My brother here knows that at any fora, you must talk about government programs. Now you look at yourselves. You are in school, you are in the university. My mother here has mentioned how this university is on top of the game. The Vice Chancellor has mentioned it. But where are you going after here? I want to bring a message to you, very good message, by the way, that the government of Uganda, headed by His Excellency the President of Uganda, has identified 4 areas which will now cater for you. 1, agriculture sector, and that one now brings back the issue of mindset change in our theme of today. There is a problem of our youth despising agriculture. But I want to assure you that agriculture has been identified as one of the key areas that will transform this country. And therefore, this is to urge you, as you study, look at joining agriculture. Area number 2 is industry, small-scale industries. Area number 3, service sector, the lawyers. I understand you are training to become lawyers. Use that area. And the last one is the ICT, the computer. Vice Chancellor, I have talked about the internet, the AI, as areas which are now coming in to solve our problems. But as we do all that, to sum it up, to bring it back now to the theme of today, as we become people of very good integrity, the message we have got today, the sermons that have been here today, I'm sure now you are grounded in the principles and the tenets of integrity. they have to be transformed in the 4 core principles of the NRM government. And the 4 principles of the NRM government: 1, patriotism. My brother here knows patriotism, but you see, the integrity we have studied here since morning must factor into patriotism. We must love our country, and we must defend our country at all times. Area number 2, Pan-Africanism. We must love ourselves as black people. Must love our Africa. 3, democracy. All the integrity, especially the IG person, I really thank you very much. You have elaborated in detail about what integrity entails, and I'm sure these people have grasped the gist of the matter. Democracy must be a democratic country. You people, you have been standing in elections, getting elections and all that. Are you practicing integrity even in elections and all that? So you can see they are intertwined. The principles of NRM are kind of linked to the very integrity principles we have been talking about. And lastly, socio-economic transformation. You must get transformed. Be transformed in the mind, be transformed in your acts, be transformed in your character, as the Vice President was saying, so that you become a holistic citizen of the country. With those few words, let me encourage you to be steadfast. The Vice Chancellor has talked about preserving yourselves. Preserve yourselves. You are very important people of the country. Self-preservation is a core principle, because if you are not there, if you shorten your life, if you engage in bad practices, which the Vice Chancellor has ever talked about, then you not be there to be a useful person, first of all to yourself, but also secondly, to the country. Because you are the people, we have always heard that you are leaders of tomorrow, but it has now been observed that actually you are not leaders of tomorrow. You are leaders of, you are already leaders, and we want you to be healthy, we want you to be alive, and to be having good principles and good character, so that you can serve your country very well. Lastly, as government, we want to assure you the country is safe. No one is going to interfere with what you are doing. And if anybody tries, the NRM government is there to deal with such people firmly. I thank you very much.
Asante sana. Yes, thank you so much for those very encouraging words. I feel more patriotic than earlier. So we thank you very much. At this moment, allow me to invite our Vice Chair of Council to invite for us the Chancellor to give his remarks, who will as well invite for us the chief guest. Yes.
Thank you so much. Mine is just simple. I take this rare opportunity to invite our Chancellor to come and address us. Thank you so much. You clap, give him a Sanders clap. You are most welcome.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair Council, our guest of honor, Chair of the Governing Council, invited guests, Vice Chancellor and your staff, the students' body and the teachers who have come to Bishop Stuart University, students, leaders, and Bishop Stuart University community. Good afternoon, and praise be to God. Agashamuhez is my name, Reverend Canon, and I work in the Bishop's office as the Eastern Education Secretary. And I'm privileged this afternoon that I've been delegated by the Bishop, who is the Chancellor of the University, and at the same time, the Bishop of Ankole Diocese. He sent you greetings. He's on duty in the field. He loves you so much, and he continues to pray for you. Our guest of honor equally wanted to inform you that I'm a member of the governing council of Bishop Stuart University as well. For youth and integrity building, I have some few comments to put across. And like the Vice Chancellor was mentioning, my duty as Education Secretary in Ankole Diocese, I'm responsible to see to it that education matters are attended to carefully in 291 education institutions, including Bishop Stuart University, 206 primary schools. And whenever we are looking for head teachers and vice chancellors and principals, we do what they call background search. Who is coming to this institution to take up leadership responsibility? Even when the inspector, Madam Karen, has proposed to post someone, we go to her office and say no to this person because he lacks integrity. At one point in time, I'm sorry to mention, Deputy Head Teacher Entebbe Girls wanted to be posted here in one of our secondary schools. Bishop went to do his background search, and I also did my own background search. For him, he discovered that the lady was okay, even when he had used crime intelligence of police. But through my other means, I discovered that when she was a deputy, she was organizing strikes, that the head teacher would be transferred, and she takes up leadership. Based on that fact, we could not allow her to come to our school. So I want to say integrity. Even when you are an adult, we have to live exemplary lives. These are young people, but I want to say, as adults, as Ugandans, what do? What are these young people looking up to us? What are they benefiting from us? The way we do things. And I will briefly describe integrity as it is about doing the right thing, even when no one is watching. And for us as Anglicans, we have a hymn in Urunyakora Richiga. Reverend Judas will lead us to sing it at one point in time. Hymn number 55. Yesu nchaka omanye ebyikora. Oh, search me, God, and see what I do. Even when no one is seeing me, that is all about integrity. And I want to call upon every one of you that in that responsibility that you hold, you have to exhibit the highest level of integrity. You must be honest. You must have a strong moral principles. And also, you must do the right thing, even when no one is watching. That is all about integrity. And I equally want to mention, biblically, when Afand Abine came, he said that he has executive orders from His Excellency, the President of Uganda. I will also give you a verse, because I'm a clergy, and therefore I represent the bishop. And through apostolic succession, this is how we come up. I will give you to read Proverbs chapter 10, verse 9, which says, whoever walks in integrity walks securely. But whoever takes a crooked path will be found out. When you do those things in a crooked way, you'll be found out. And basically, this is why you have jobs, you people. State House and Corruption Unit. If people were not taking crooked paths, they wouldn't be employed. IGG's office, I don't know what you'd be doing. But thank God, people have not listened properly to the word of God. That's why you have jobs. I don't know. I don't know when you are praying. When you pray for God to bless your work, what do you mean? To get more criminals to arrest? To get more criminals to take to police? You are praying to God to bless your work. I don't know. To eradicate. And what will you do when they stop sinning? But however, we pray that all of you will always take the right path, and then you will be successful. Building a nation on strong values. Values define character of a nation. Respect, justice, humility, and love. Do we love one another as Ugandans? This is the patriotism he was talking about. What kind of justice do we offer to one another in case we are a responsibility to take? Do we respect one another? Even when you are a vice chancellor, do you respect your students? Even when you are an inspector of schools, do you respect the teachers who teach in these schools? They equally have a responsibility. The cleaners at Bishop Stuart University are doing an excellent job. The askaris and security guards in the schools you have come from, they have a big responsibility. But when you come up and beat them and slap them, that's your own. But we should respect one another. And every one of us has God's given responsibility. And therefore we are called upon to respect one another and whatever your colleague is doing. As a youth, you must champion these values in your daily interactions. When they tell you to clean around your dormitory, how do you answer? The matron or patron. When they ask you to go and clean the toilet, what do you say? It is all about integrity. You did not go to the details, like I said. As the education secretary, I visit 291 schools. There are people who use the toilet and they squat on top of the toilet seat. That's lack of integrity. You are supposed to know that once you have used the toilet, you must keep it clean the way you found it. People do not care. I even found it at one time at Amsterdam. When I had just went there, I found it was dirty. And I thought these were probably Africans because I had not seen it elsewhere. And I want to ask you that integrity even goes that side if you are not aware. As a student, when you go to the dining and you find portioned beans, what times they have prepared rice and meat and matoke. When the table is for 8 students, it is consumed by 4 people. Is that integrity? It should extend that side. And this is for the benefit of students. And when we were in high school, we used to call that one fishing. Fishing. You have eaten all that was meant for your colleagues. And as brethren, I want to request you that we should stop such vices because they are not good for our country. And when you read Micah chapter 6, verse 8, it says, He has shown you, O mortal, what is good, and what does the Lord require of you? And this is the answer: to act justly and to love mercy and to walk humbly with your God. In whatever you do, always walk with God. Always walk with God. I said to some congregation, I was not doing well health-wise. And when I went to the doctor for surgery, this professor in neurophysician, he told me 3 things. 1, pray that surgery goes well. The professor is telling me to do what? To pray before going to the theater. Because he's very aware that without God, surgery will not be successful. Pray that surgery goes well. And number 2, he said, make sure you have enough money. I don't know how much enough money is. But Professor, the Vice Chancellor, was telling us that we must work hard. And Paul tells us in Galatians that those people who do not work should therefore not eat. Why should you eat if you are not working? And finally, Professor said, you pray that the doctors will be in good spirit. Among 3 things, he said, pray that surgery goes well. And you also pray that the doctors will be in spirit. So, it is about prayer. It is about your relationship with God, and the rest will be successful. Issues of integrity, issues of your humility, issues of respect, issues of looking for school fees, issues of looking for jobs. It is about your relationship with God. It is equally very important. Connections with these big people is equally very important, as was mentioned by one of us. But also your relationship with God matters. I read again, Micah chapter 6, verse 8. He has shown you, O mortal, what is good, and what does the Lord require of you? To act justly and to love mercy and to walk humbly with your God. Be truthful in academics. Avoid cheating exams. I'm a teacher and education secretary. Because when you cheat exams, your neighbor will not release them for you, and you will have problems. If you are caught as a university student and they bring you to the university council, we shall read and see what the policy says. You have to act justly in whatever you are doing. You also must make sure that in business, IGG's office, I think you should take some break and visit some of the shops where we buy posho. A sack of posho supposed to be having 10 kilograms. When you take it home, you find 8 kilograms. The one of 25, when you take it home, you find 21. In business, people are cheating their colleagues. We have to act justly. Brothers and sisters, as young people, we must say this. And in leadership, we must act justly. Show respect to elders. Show respect to elders. Those vice chancellors and those people from president's office and the chancellor and the university chair council. Respect them and give them what they deserve. And when that time comes, you will equally be respected. It's about time. And I want to say, when I say respect for elders, the difference between you and these people you see here doesn't exist, seriously. It is only the age difference. When you commit yourself to reading hard, to exhibit the highest level of integrity, when he retires, I mean vice chancellor, professor, someone will come from these people. But they must have exhibited the highest level of integrity, the highest level of discipline, the highest level of respect, and also to work well with their peers. Also, promote justice and fairness in all engagements, and that's when you will be successful. You also must think about positive mindset change for transformation. The positive mind is the foundation for national transformation. What we believe influences how we act. If we focus on responsibilities instead of limitations, we can drive meaningful change. And in Romans chapter 12, verse 2, it says, do not conform to the patterns of this world, but be transformed by renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, and his good, pleasing, and perfect will. God is there for you. Always make sure that you do the right thing. Don't do what other people are doing. Afande, our guest of honor, I want to say, I have a cousin. She worked with a company. And those people, actually, I can say it. She worked with Bata Uganda Limited. And actually, it closed some of the branches in Imbarara because they had lost business. And this cousin of mine, when she entered into Bata, for them, when you sell in the back, they give you some dividends. And when you buy in the payers, you don't get a dividend. And therefore, for them, all the payers of slippers they have sold, they put it together and say, by her colleagues in Bata, Uganda Limited. Therefore, even when others are saying this, make sure you remain truthful to your God and to the principles that you are getting from your respective institutions. Rejecting shortcuts and embracing hard work. Our guest of honor, rejecting shortcuts and hard work. Me, and actually you people who are exemplary, you must give examples. Professor, from your integrity and hard work, we can see you are only a vice chancellor. You have not indicated that you have an aeroplane out of your hard work. You have not told us that you have a ship in Portugal. You have not told us. When you come to speak, give examples of how you have been successful through your hard work. Professor, before I came here, I sold my bunches of matoke worth 1,840,000. Before coming here, I sold my matoke out of hard work. Yes. And God blesses the hands that really work. Professor and your team, as Education Secretary, Madam Karen, is a member of the Board of Education. In 2023, I had a balance of 140 million by 31st December. 140 million. What do I do with this money? I asked the bishop and team, you spend, you fix some money so that it could get used. Because my work plan had been finished. How do I spend money? And last year, I had a balance of 195 million on account. Madam Karen is my member of the Board of Education in Akure Diocese. What do I do with money? I shared with the bishop. Bishop, now that the work plan is done, is it okay for me to buy a new vehicle? And he said it is okay. And then I went to Japan Auto Spares. I bought a double cabin at 140 million. It is the one I used when I was coming here. And I paid my staff in the department, 8 people. I paid them up to March. And I still have money to pay them the month of April. Because I have money, and it is a reserve. It is not part of my budget. It is not part of my work plan. How are you, VC? How are you spending the university cash? That's my testimony. And I have Madam Karen is here with us. That's how I do things. And probably, Madam Vice Chair Council and Guest of Honor, this is why the bishop sent me here to talk about integrity, I suppose, because he has very many officials. He could have said, those who are senior than me. Accountability is the foundation of leadership and governance. Without accountability, corruption thrives and progress is hindered. We have seen many Ugandans eating money. Those that ate money that was for Gavi, for people with HIV. Money that was made for UPE. And as guest of honor, I ask myself, when you have squandered the nation, you have billions and trillions, and you have buildings in Washington, you have them in Pretoria, you have them all over. What will happen to those properties when you die? Someone will say, my children will inherit my property. I also ask myself, they will also have made their own. When will they finally go? When will they finally go? People have died of HIV because you have squandered the money. The Karmajonga are there because you have taken their iron sheets. And then you go to the podium and you sing and dance and you think that people are happy. They are not. They are not at all. Can we come back to our senses, dear Ugandans? And for these young people, I want to say that we must be Ugandans over difference. Emulate the best examples. Those who have issues, don't think about them because they have been brought to us and we know them. And in Luke chapter 16, verse 10, trusted with much. And whoever is dishonest with very little will also be dishonest with much. I want to request you, my brothers and sisters, that with honesty, that with integrity, this is when they you sing this song. They are watching you, marking what you do, hearing the things that you say. In a university setup, in secondary school setup, even at primary level, the Bible is telling us that when you are trusted with very little, they will always be very sure that you will be honest with much. And therefore, you will be promoted, even in your ladders, afande. Yes, you will be promoted as long as you exhibit the highest level of honesty. Hold ourselves accountable to our actions. Demand transparency from leaders and institutions. Lead by example in ethical conduct. Lead by example in ethical conduct. And these are some of the people I was mentioning. They have stolen iron sheets. A whole minister steal iron sheets. What do you do with iron sheets if you're a minister? You have a red car with those escorts behind you, and they see you rolling iron sheets. Those we call for grasshoppers. They are not even versatile. So, you must be ethical in your conduct, in whatever you do. And as leaders, we must be exemplary. Lead by example in ethical conduct at all levels. Youth as change agents. Young people are just future leaders. We are leaders now. The change we desire starts with us, today and now. This is what we are saying. In Timothy chapter 4, verse 12, it says, don't let anyone look down on you because you are young, but set an example for the believers in speech, in conduct, in love, in faith, and in purity. Set yourself like an example. Practical steps to make an impact. Practical steps. One, engage in community service and volunteerism. This is the patriotism he was talking about. Promote integrity in students' governance and organizations. As a guild president, how are you spending guild fees? The one that they give you. As a head prefect, how do you govern the rest of the students that you have in your dormitory, or wherever you stay with them? And finally, use social media responsibly to advocate for positive change. Use social media responsibly to advocate for social change. Those things that you post on WhatsApp, on Facebook, what do they mean? Do you have to address first before you post your photo on WhatsApp or Facebook? Advocate for positive change in the social media. Our guest of honor. Someone has adopted a kid and you put it on the social media. What does it teach? Guest of honor, as I come to conclusion. Even these people, my friends, these people of the media, Ngubaji and company, when you show students burning a school, running to hide, you are teaching these other wrongdoers a skill of burning a school and running. So, report responsibly. You can tell us a school has been burned or something has happened without teaching those good people how they can do a similar mistake. Am I writing Ngubaji and company? Yes. Use social media responsibly and for positive change. The future of our nation depends on choices we make today. Integrity, strong values, and positive mindset. And accountability must define us as young people. Accountability must define us. And in Proverbs chapter 14, verse 34, righteousness exalts a nation, but it condemns any people. But sin condemns any people. If we stand for the truth, fairness, responsibility, we will build a nation that prospers. The time for change is now, and it starts with you and me. May God bless you. May I take the honor to invite the guest of honor to speak to us. Can we please welcome our guest of honor? You are welcome, Mr. Guest of Honor.
Thank you. The Chancellor, BSU, the Chairperson or Vice Chairperson, University Council, the Vice Chancellor, my colleague representing the Brigadier Isoke, fellow invited guests, student leaders, fellow participants, I'm Eli Tugeine once again. And by the grace of God, I'm the City Internal Security Officer, Mbarara City, which is hosting you today. I also want to take this opportunity to thank BSU for hosting us. I'm representing the Deputy Director General, Colonel Emi Katavazi, who had also tasked my boss, my regional supervisor, the resource to represent him, but unfortunately he was also in Kampala for another assignment. Like the Vice Chancellor noted here, I was also hosting the Deputy Speaker. On my way to go and welcome the Deputy Speaker, my boss, the RISO, instructed me to come and represent him and represent the Director General. So I'm here in the capacity of the Deputy Director General or our Acting Director General Internal Security Organization, and also on my own behalf as the host DISO. I welcome you to Mbarara City. The previous speakers have said it all. I don't want to repeat whatever they have said here in the interest of time. I know the sugar levels are going down. I think it's coming to 4. I will try to summarize. But I want also to appreciate the organizers of this meeting or one-day conference, Integrity Ambassadors Club, in liaison with other institutions and secondary schools across the region, to have thought about this. My question would be, why are we here? Why are we joining the Integrity Club of BSU to come and spend the whole day here talking? At a strategic level, they thought it not necessary. At intelligence level, you heard of one of the speakers was talking of intelligence being part and parcel of integrity. To introduce patriotism in line with what my colleague has mentioned here, the 4 strategies of government, the core values of NRM, to make sure that we engage the young generation, identify them, and bring them on board. And that's why you are seeing at that level, the Director General has passion for such seminars and such clubs. We must identify leaders that are ready to take over from us. And that's why we are here. Identify them, train them, focus them, and praise them when they are done with their university education into the service industry. And that's why we are here. That's why these clubs are wholesomely supported to make sure that we take off. If you can't know where you are coming from, You can't tell where you are. And you may not forge where you want to be. For us as a country, there is where we have come from, there is where we are, and we must plan together where we want this country to be. The good president here told you they were identified and taken to ISIS. IS is Institute of Security and Intelligence Studies in Entebbe Heritage, to be refocused on where they should be. So the essence of such clubs, the essence of such conferences is, we call it in economic system, political economy, the negation of negation, trying to identify from you the leaders that will take over as vice chancellors, as director generals and ministers, even the president of this country. In you, we have leaders that can lead this country. There is no any foreigner who will develop Uganda or who will help. It's us, Ugandans, that must sacrifice with the conditions we are living in, appreciate them, come out, and we lead this country, we lead Africa, we reach where we want to be. My Director General instructed me to put emphasis on mindset change. I was not even aware of the theme when they told me, but I sent him a WhatsApp message, and he guided me. Emphasize mindset change as one of the ways of how we can change this country and positively to make sure that Uganda continues. The previous speakers talked about integrity, but without positive change, without changing the attitude, you cannot achieve whatever you want to achieve. You cannot have integrity when you have negative thinking. You must have that positive thinking talking about. So in our daily work, in our schools, try to avoid peer groups that can lead you into leading strikes, into banning schools. You remember 5, 10 years, roughly, I've been in Mbarara for 3 years. Around 5 years ago, we had a chronology of banning schools. You hear the school has been banned. In Masaka, the school is banned. In Budo, the school is banned. Where were those criminals coming from? They were from our society. So for us to change the society, we must change the attitude. We must go for mindset change. So I defined here mindset change as a shift in an individual's thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. the things you do without anybody watching you. That's integrity. That's mindset change. As you're talking to your God, you hear your heart telling you, am I doing the right work? Am I doing the right thing? And that's what we want to see as a country. It is one of the pillars of PDM. If you have heard of our president talking about the PDM and emphasizing it. Transforming ways of thinking, perceiving and interpreting themselves and others, and even the surrounding area, the environment around you. How do you perceive it? How do you appreciate it? Do you buy things in a Kavera, you go and throw them there? Our riverways is drying off, being getting silted with Kaveras, residues from our factories. Somebody constructs a factory near the river. Instead of putting a tank where he can collect the residues, he connects the pipes to the river. But he's a Ugandan. How do we engage these people and make sure that we secure our environment? I looked at the types of mindset change. They are like 4. Fixed growth mindset change, enhancing challenges and viewing failures and as opportunities for growth and learning. Whatever you see, can you pick the positive part of it? Why do we believe in negatives? Invited guests and fellow participants, today, if you write, you put on social media that the Disombarara has bitten a dog, it makes news. But should you say that the dogs in Mbarara are attacking human beings, that's not news. Why do we go for negatives? How do we change our society? How do we engage our young generation to change their thinking and appreciate the environment you're in? Negative to positive mindset. That's what I'm talking about. We have looked at something, but the interpretation is different. At the end of the day, we are Ugandans. Whether you want this government or not, the government will go, but Uganda will remain here. And that's why for us as state agents, we work for Uganda, for the state called Uganda. Are we together? So focusing on solutions rather than problems and cultivating a more optimistic outlook. Whatever we do, positive outlook out of the situation you are in. Then the other type is closed open being receptive to new ideas and perspectives and experience. We are here to learn, to share experience. The Chancellor talked about having a balance on his account and even sharing with the boss, the Lord Bishop. I can also share my experience when I came to Mbarara. We had an issue of central market. The government had constructed the central market under Matip, and leaders, fellow leaders, shared those kiosks and stores. At the end of the day, the real vendors that the market was constructed for ended up missing. They allocated the whole market, 711 fraudulent owners, and gave a report to the minister that the market space was over. The following day, reaching our office, I found over 500 women carrying children on their back around our office of the RCC. That's where my office is. And they were all complaining, I've not been allocated a store, I've not been allocated a kiosk. Immediately we engaged the Minister of Local Government. The minister came here himself, engaged the RCC to see how they can solve the problem. RCC brought me on board. He was like, Honorable Minister, I cannot handle this alone. I want my technical people, the security, to take over. And when I met the minister, I was like, Honorable Minister, we cannot put this market right unless you give me A, B, C, D. Around 5 requirements. And one of them was to rewrite the vendors afresh. Those vendors who were at the Independence Park. We did the work, writing the vendors afresh, identifying the real vendors, did the paperwork, handed it over to the Committee of Local Government to allocate. And we ended up entering 933 vendors. We remained with the balance of 157 kiosks at level 4, not given out. But mind you, they had allocated 711 and reported that the whole market was full. So people started moving around, who is this diesel? Lucky enough, I'm a born of this area. I'm a born of Mbarara. I come from Kazo. But I had worked in northern Uganda for the last 18 years. So most people didn't know me here. One of the big shots in Mbarara, who claimed to be close to the principal, and people were fearing him, came around. I want my 5 kiosks. I just looked at him. Or else I called the president. I was like, Mzee, with due respect, you go to the president, he will give you your kiosk. Me, I'm not a president. And when I handled that person who was intimidating civil servants, all the big shots, all the bourgeoisies in town who had 10 kiosks, 20 disappeared. One of them happens to be my friend. He calls me for an evening tea at Antare Gardens. I went there. I called him. I told him, meet me in the office. He was like, Afande, can I meet you outside? We have a cup of coffee. So I said, it's okay. We went there. The man comes. He tells me, you know, Afande, I had 17 kiosks in this market, and I had bought them at 170 million, each 10 million. Now I'm here with 100 million. At least help me, I get my kiosks. I said, hey, my brother, have you ever been a vendor? He said, no. But I know him. He's my OB. Makobore. I'm sorry to use you as an example. Like you can approach me. I called him by name. Ah, my brother, are you a vendor? No, you have never been a vendor. But you want 17 kiosks in the market. You don't qualify for one, but you want the DISO to give you 17. Where will I get these kiosks from? I told him, my brother, what I can help you, go and get the 17 receipts that this guy gave you, the one who sold to you. Me as a DISO, as a head of intelligence, I will help you to recover the 170 million that you invested in. Then I will get a percentage from the money that we shall have recovered. But as far as getting kiosks, I cannot help you. He went to my boss and said, he said it in Ornyankore, that that you thought RCC, we had an RCC called message here. You thought message is bad. But it's Richard Chenda Chirukwahura that they brought a fat DISO who cannot make a deal. It goes back to integrity. I ended up neutralizing them. They even went to the extent of attacking me at the funeral. You think who you are. How many DISOs have we seen? But with my head high, I can comfortably confirm to you that the people who are occupying Mbarara Central Market, 95% are vendors. Now, the people who were despising me, recently they were calling me that I go and help in Arua. I worked in Arua before coming here. That there is a similar problem in Arua. I told them, no, I'm the DISO of Mbarara. We have one of the best organized market and fully paying taxes